Turn off the lights, turn up my mic, roll up some flights, let's all get right. It's that shit you waited for your whole fucking life.
What's poppin'? We back. Talk bros, talk man, the water is gonna get caught and all that noise, like gurgling. What's going on? We back. It's Talk Bros this week again. We're gonna split things up a little differently. We're gonna start off with just the basketball segment, so let's pop it off. Charlie, we've seen these all-decade teams. What's your opinion? Let's start with the third team. So on the third team, we have Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, Paul George, LaMarcus Aldridge, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So that's the whole team. I understand the Kobe one. Kobe, he retired 2014, 2013, and he was already on a huge downhill decline, by then. So yeah, I understand the Kobe one. D Wade, they played D Wade. He was put really low because the first 5 years of that decade, he was still hooping. He had 2 rings that decade, so yeah, he was low.
That's it? So you was cool with Kobe being on there?
With Kobe? Yeah.
You was okay with Kobe being on there?
At the end of the day, it's Kobe Bryant.
What does that mean? This ain't a legacy team.
I know, but it's Kobe Bryant.
What does that mean?
Who would you put on there?
Tim Duncan, in a heartbeat.
Tim Duncan doesn't play a guard position.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. There's not a center.
4 forwards.
There's not a center on this list.
You can't throw 4 forwards on the team.
Yes, it's an all-decade team. It's not.
I know.
It's
like how in the all NBA teams, how they might put no centers and no point guards on the all NBA team, but I
don't see a center on this first team.
They do 2 guards and 3 forwards.
I don't see a center on this first team, and for all intents and purposes, LeBron's a guard.
His position was never labeled as a point guard.
What?
He's never straight up played the point guard.
Anyway, look, if we're replacing anybody on this list right now, Kobe has to come off this list. Kobe had 3 pretty productive years at the beginning of the decade and then proceeded to fall off this cliff right here, right? Kobe also destroyed his Lakers team. That massive contract he took when he was basically useless and putting up 30, 40 shots a game, it was more or less a waste.
I could see Chris Paul being on there instead of him.
On the third team?
Chris Paul or maybe Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose?
He got hurt. That's why I said maybe. Because it's MVP season, but still. I
When
don't
was
think
his
that
MVP season?
2011.
So one MVP get you on the list?
I mean, he had a good rookie year, good MVP season, good third year. And he was still productive he was more productive this decade than Kobe
Derrick
was.
Rose could not make the jump to the all-decade third team because he would tear his ACLs on the way up.
I said maybe, though, for one. And 2, Derrick Rose has been more productive this decade than Kobe Bryant was.
Regardless of position, if we are taking the best 15 players of the decade, there is absolutely no reason Kobe Bryant should be on this list over Tim Duncan. It's just not. It's not.
I agree with you on that, but at the end of the day, they don't make the list like that.
The list isn't based off. There's not a single center on this. On any of these lists, there's not a single center.
I'm not saying positions like point guard, 2, 3, 4. I'm not saying that. I'm saying 3 guards. 2 guards,
3 forwards, 3 front court guys.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, there's still Paul George was a 2 guard at the start. Paul George was a 2 at the start of the decade. He was playing a 2 because he was next to Danny Granger.
He's 3 now, though.
He's
been a 3 most of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
He's been balling. He's been more productive at the 3 position for the most of this decade.
Either way, Kobe Bryant does not need to be on this list. Is all I'm saying. Kobe does not need to be on this list. This was a legacy pick. This was a sentimental pick.
Kobe. That's why they did it.
That's why they did it. But at this point in Kobe's career, once this decade started and through all the accolades that all these other guys have occurred through all of those 10 years, Kobe Bryant has absolutely no place on this list. Let's move up to the second team. We got Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook,
Chris Paul was second team.
Anthony Davis, Blake Griffin, Carmelo Anthony.
Russ and Blake Griffin. Russ is only on there because of a triple-double. If Russ never put up any triple-doubles, if he averaged 25, 7, and 9, he wouldn't be up here. Or 25, 9, and 9, he wouldn't be on there. It's just because of the triple-doubles.
He averaged... His averages are 23 for the decade, 24, 7, and 8.7 assists.
I'm talking about his MVP seasons.
You talking about his MVP in these last 3 years?
His triple-double seasons.
Okay.
If it wasn't triple-doubles, he wouldn't be on there.
Okay. Well, we can talk about another person that could be pulled down and put Tim Duncan in his place again. I'm just so confused. I don't know what's going on. Blake Griffin.
That's what.
Blake Griffin's never. The second team is a list of guys who've never won anything. Much love as I got for Anthony Davis, You know, that's really about the only one I got a mad amount of love for on this roster, and feel like he fits.
I think he hoops better than everyone else.
Oh, absolutely. He's by far the best player on this list.
On the second team.
But the second team to me is pretty dry.
They're not winners. They're just
they're guys. They're stat guys.
Yeah, they're individual players. They're not team winners.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and I'm not quite understanding how exactly these guys have made the roster. Like the Clippers were good, but even over Chris Paul, man, I'm taking a Klay Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a little baffled at this second team. This seems like a legacy team as well too, between Chris Paul, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony. They want Westbrook to have that legacy status too, just averaging a triple double, being like the next big O. So yeah, I'm not too keen on this team. Honestly, I would swap the second and third teams if you want me to keep it real with you, because I'm not sure how Blake Griffin is on this list over Giannis. Like,
yeah, for real.
I just don't understand the second team. There's gotta be something going on here that we don't know, because there's no playoff success on any of these guys, no matter what team they're on. Chris Paul's played on multiple teams. Blake Griffin's played on multiple teams. Yep.
Ever since KD's been gone, Russ hasn't got out the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So
none of these guys have even played. Nobody on this team has even played in the finals.
If you want to talk about, oh man, well, Russ didn't have a good team. He had PG the last 2 years. So
yeah, and Oladipo left and became an all-star too. So I mean, it's just nobody on this list has even made it to an NBA Finals, and we have really 2 conference finals appearances on this entire roster right here. The Carmelo back in, I want to say 2009 is what it was, I believe, and then Chris Paul a couple of years ago, yeah.
Wait, he didn't make it with the Clippers?
Chris Paul to a conference finals? Negative, no.
He didn't.
His first conference finals was with the Rockets.
I was thinking of that year where they beat the Spurs in the first round. I thought that was the second round.
That was a great series. Mad respect to him for that one, but no, they didn't touch the conference finals. Cool. First team all decade. Stephen Curry, James Harden, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Sugar K. Leonard. What are your thoughts?
I'm pretty much in agreement with everything except for James Harden. I know why they did James Harden, but James Harden was only really balling for like the last 5 years since he's been with the Rockets, right? Mm-hmm. And then you take D Wade's first 5 years with the Heat. D Wade won 2 rings those years. Mm-hmm. Harden hasn't won anything. All decade, Harden hasn't won anything. Mm-hmm. All that Harden really has going for him is a 40-point average. So it's like, but then on 40-point average on a 40% usage rate with 6 turnovers. So,
final thoughts on everything. So basically, there's really, much as I don't agree with this list, there's 2 guys that I can tell you without question I'm replacing. I'm dropping James Harden to the second team in lieu of Chris Paul. Chris Paul comes completely off this list. Klay Thompson is actually on the first team with Stephen Curry to me. And then I'm taking Blake Griffin down off this list, and I'm throwing in there Tim Duncan in Blake Griffin's place. D Wade, I mean, I'd put D Wade on the second team over Russ.
That's what I'm saying, at least second team.
Yeah,
third team was a stretch.
That's my opinion on the matter. And there's probably a couple of names off the top of the head I'm not even thinking of, but just
Ron made a good point about it, that they're trying to. James Harden is still in the league. They're trying to sell James Harden. Russ is still in the league. They're trying to sell Russ. They don't really have any use for.
You know what sells these guys? Titles.
Kobe. I know. I'm saying they don't have a use for D Wade and Kobe anymore.
Kobe shouldn't have been on the list.
So that's why they're putting them so low.
Kobe shouldn't have been on the list.
Tim Duncan too. They don't have a use for Tim.
I stick by that. Kobe should not have been on this list. He has not been productive enough up in that beginning of the decade. He was not dominant. He was not number 8 Kobe. He wasn't Froby. He was declining Kobe, and then Kobe fell off a cliff. So that's just my final thoughts on the matter on that. All right, we'll transition into Kuzma. Speaking of the Lakers and LeBron James, Kuzma believes he can be that number 3 option for the Lakers.
I think he can. I don't know. He's proven he could score the ball. I'm not sure about a third star. I think he could be a third option. I think he'd be like a solid third option. I'm not sure about.
Solid third option. Third star, third option, doesn't matter. You think Kuzma can be the number 3 on a championship winning team?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because Kuzma was pretty healthy last year, wasn't he?
He was the number 2 on that team last year.
He was the number 2 on that team last year, and that team won, 35 games?
Mm-hmm. But AD's a solid number 2, though.
AD is a solid number. That's probably the best number 2 in the league.
LeBron was injured. AD and Kyrie are probably the two best number 2s in the league. LeBron was injured. They didn't have a full team from November. When they had the full team, they were 4 seeds in the West.
I don't blame Kuzma for the Lakers' lack of success last year. I'm just saying we had a chance to see Kuzma off the leash last year, and he put up 19. He put up 19
numbers.
games.
I could see him being the third scoring option. I could see that. I could see him doing great in that position.
Mm-hmm.
I see that next year for him.
Well, I think Kuzma has the biggest strides to make again on the defensive end. We know that man can score the ball, but ultimately him and the entire Lakers organization, as far as on the court, got to work on being more consistent defensively if they want to have a chance to compete when it's June.
All right, anyways.
So, KD says the Warriors are not to blame for this injury. I'm inclined to believe him. I'm sure there was a little bit of pressure, especially.
I think they were trying to rush him back too fast because it's like
You
they
think
got in a panic. But I don't think they did it. I don't think it's them to blame. Like, I don't think they took the whole blame because at the end of the day, I could blame KD too. You should know your body. You should know when you're healthy or not. But then he's a competitor.
There's no blame.
I don't think there's
no
any blame to be given in this situation because I think there's a really big gray area in this situation because, like you could say, the team was trying to rush him back, but they're also taking care of him.
The bottom line is
KD was trying to hurry up and get back to the competitor, but he should know his body too. It's always like
the bottom line is everybody's looking for a headline. There's no blame to be administered here. KD, ever since he made that soft move and jumped to Golden State, now wants to have this competitive side to him, and that was it. He was injured. His team was 1 game away from their demise, so he wanted to prove not to the Warriors, not to anybody, maybe not even to himself. I'm not sure who he was trying to prove anything to, but I think KD was really trying to show any potential suitors that I'm here to win. I want to win. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, even if it means putting my body on the line. I think that was more so about a statement than trying to help the team win because, I mean, good as KD is, there was no way. There was no way those guys were about to win 2 in a row. I just didn't see. He was dominating.
Put up 70 in that game.
Yeah,
he was going to put up 70 in that
70
game.
70 doesn't equal a win. Putting up 70 doesn't equal a win.
They almost won. They would have won with him.
They would have won. They would have won that game.
They would have won with him, and I think they would have won the next game with him too.
That's we can battle with what if all day. I mean, at the end of the day, though, there is no blame to be administered. It's just kind of one man being a competitor, wanting to show his toughness, and a team needing him in order to be competitive in that series and win. And
it's not your fault or your fault.
Right. That's just how the chips fell. It's not like it got in the way of the man's money or anything like that. He's going to miss the season.
Max contract. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. How can you be that good that you can get injured with a season-ending injury and still get a max contract?
Even if KD is 70% of what he is before he got here, he's better than 95% of the league. It's just crazy. That's just it. That's what gets you that deal right there. So that's just that's how it works for KD. So get it how you live.
Melo. Melo got denied to Team USA. How do you think?
That's Captain America right there as far as USA basketball. It's a bad look for Melo. That not that he wasn't on the roster, but it's a bad look that this is getting out that they reached out and Team USA doesn't want him. Carmelo's a Hall of Famer. Not for anything he's done in the NBA, but Carmelo's a basketball Hall of Famer. He'll be in the Hall of Fame because of his success with Team USA. Everything he's done for us. He's our leading scorer. He's the guy he's played the most minutes for us. Like, Carmelo is USA basketball. In my opinion, Carmelo is definitely USA basketball. But, I mean, man, he's 37. It's getting to that point.
Because they're already low on roster. I mean, I don't know.
Low on star power?
I feel like they should have. I understand both sides because, like, if he's not going to really contribute to a win, why would I bring him on my team? Mm-hmm. But then it's like, dude, I mean, like you said, he's been one of the best Team USA players. So just let him have his little Team USA farewell tour or something like that. Let him have his little tribute, like how they let Dirk play. His little Team USA tribute or whatever. I don't know.
Germany, I guarantee you one thing. Dirk is not finna play for Team Germany.
No, I'm saying like how they did Dirk with letting him be an all-star.
I understand, but Germany is not gonna allow Dirk to be on the team and drag the team down because of what he's done in the past. Like I said, we don't do anything for legacies. They're out there to win.
I understand both sides. I didn't say I'm on board with one or the other side. You sent me another one. Okay, so.
Melo, bad look, man. Keep training, keep working, get healthy. Find you a roster. Don't worry about Team USA. You've done more than enough for Team USA over the years. Let's get you on a roster. You're good enough to be somebody's 10 through 15. Let's find a way to get there. And just keep working, keep grinding, man. Somebody gonna need your services, and they're gonna pick you up. I promise you that.
So Micheal Beasley just signed with the Pistons. How you feel about the Pistons now?
I thought this was a news debate show we had going on here. Thought we was talking about news.
I don't know. I think the Pistons aren't going to be as bad as they were last year. I think they're a better team than they were last year.
Micheal Beasley is not an improvement over any. That's not
They
news.
got more than just Micheal Beasley, though.
They haven't done anything.
Derrick Rose isn't anything.
He's not an upgrade over Reggie Jackson. He's not. Derrick Rose.
He's an upgrade over their two guard, Langston Callaway, or who else was it?
Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard. He's an upgrade over him.
You again, just like you were with Kobe, you're stuck in legacy mode.
No,
I know
Derrick
Derrick Rose was
yeah.
an MVP at one point, and yes,
Derrick
he had a
Rose
50-point game last year.
Had
that does
average
not
18, 3
on a bad team, on a very bad
5.
team, on a very
bad team. They're better than the Pistons were.
Last year, no, they weren't.
They weren't very, very bad though. They had other scores too.
I'm listening.
Karl-Anthony Towns isn't a scorer. Because
Karl-Anthony Towns is kind of a do-it-all guy. As good as he is, he still can't take this team into the playoffs.
I'm saying they didn't have a horrible. They had good scores on their squad though.
They had good scores.
They had people who could score the.
They did it in
Andrew
games.
Wiggins. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you're saying like they're a bad team and all, but it's not like he was just the only person who could score on that team.
That's what I'm saying. He was scoring 18 on a bad team that had a team full of scorers. Now he's going to have to defer to a Blake Griffin. He'll defer to a Reggie Jackson. Andre Drummond is not
letting Derrick
necessarily.
Rose score the ball before I'm letting Reggie Jackson score the ball.
Reggie Jackson runs the point. So, truthfully, Derrick Rose is a better fit at the 2, but he's too small. Who's going to guard? What kind of 2 is Derrick Rose going to guard? Klay Thompson? What about when James Harden comes to town?
They don't have anyone to guard James Harden.
Oh, well, obviously nobody guards James Harden, but Derrick Rose at the 2 is a horrible move. It's
Derrick
awful.
Rose, 6'3", 6'4".
6'3", maybe, on a good day, in shoes. 190 pounds.
But not every
pounds.
2 guard in the league is 6'3". I mean, not every 2 guard is 6'6", 6'7".
Yes, they are. Just about. James Harden is what, 6'5". Oladipo might be 6'4".
We're going through this team by team then.
James Harden might be 6'4".
Kevin Hunter, 6'7".
Kevin Werder.
You know what I'm talking about. Jaylen Brown, dang.
Jaylen Brown, 6'7".
Marcus Smart, 6'3".
I mean, Dinwiddie's what, 6'5", 6'6", maybe?
He's the backup 2.
He's the backup 2. Oh,
so
LeVert.
Backup 1. LeVert, 6'7".
LeVert,
Dang,
6'7".
you got me. Okay,
Derrick Rose is undersized for the 2 position. He's a better fit for the 2 for his style of play, but he's too small. He's not going to be able to guard anybody. Derrick Rose is a marginal improvement at best over a Luke Kennard, and that's on the offensive end.
They got so many more. I think they improved their team.
Sure, they were
a playoff team that improved their team, and the other playoff team that was they made the playoffs last year. The other team that was above them was the Magic. They definitely got better than the Magic. Any argument with that? Let's run by this.
The league is about continuity. Orlando is short a point guard. I will say that. Orlando is definitely short a point guard.
If we were to say Eastern Conference playoff locks, we got.
I'm going Boston, Brooklyn, Philly. I'm going Indiana,
Milwaukee.
They're
probably gonna be.
I'll take Toronto. I think Toronto still makes the playoffs. Toronto still makes the playoffs.
And then those last 2 spots were really
maybe Miami with Jimmy Butler. They didn't. Miami jumped over
Miami,
Detroit,
but who?
In my humble opinion. But I mean. And even, I think Atlanta could be a sneak team. I think Atlanta's going to be more competitive than Detroit next year. The NBA is about continuity. Detroit might have made flashy moves, but at the end of the day,
I didn't say that.
In the East that lacks star power, continuity is going to win. Continuity will always take it.
Those teams they did Boston. They are the same. They have the same type of chemistry. Boston got rid of their 2 main pieces and added.
Yeah, Boston got rid of chemistry issues and replaced it with somebody who was just like Kyrie. And Kyrie was a great fit. Look, the bottom line is Kyrie was the problem in Boston because they made the playoffs last year, right? They made the playoffs the year before with Kyrie. Kyrie was hurt. Kyrie was hurt, and they went to the conference finals.
Kyrie is not made to be a number 1 option. That was the biggest problem with Boston. Kyrie's a number 2 option because he can't lead a team. He's not built for a number 1 option. Boston put him in a position where he had to be the number one.
Absolutely. So
And that's
in
not
losing
his game.
and
That's
losing
not
the
him.
talent in Kyrie, they might have lost that talent in Kyrie and replaced it with Kemba, who is no slouch at all. This dude can ball.
Trust me, I know. I'm a big Kemba Walker fan.
Kemba can ball.
But I'm saying that Boston didn't improve in my eyes. I don't see no huge improvement in Boston.
Well, I guess we just gonna have to wait till the season to find out about that. But I mean, that's all we got for the hoops topics today. But
Follow the Instagram talkbros_. Discord link will be in the bio if you ever want to debate us on anything we talk about here. You could do that in Discord.
yeah, please hop in with us because we want all y'all jumping into interactions and then debate with us. Let us know you agree with me. Of course you do. Let him know he out his mind.
All right, well, let's talk, bros. We out.
Turn off the lights, turn up my mic, roll up some flights, let's all get right. It's that shit you waited for your whole fucking life. It's that shit you waited for your whole fucking life.